And if we ask the stars what they mean, what would they say back to us? Welcome! You want to go on a card journey today? Give me some of your time, and I'll give you some of your story. Well, let's see what the cards say. Hey there, Pisces. Welcome to Koi Place Tarot. My name is Koi, and I'm going to be your tarot card reader for today. As I said, a quick announcement, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification button. That way, when uploads are made, you can see what the stars are trying to say to you. Also, if interested, individual reads are back up and open, so either message or email directly. Link is on main, and we'll set that up, okay? Pisces, what are we looking at? You see 4 cards across the board. All of them are 5s. This is going to be your ATC As Things Change read. All the 5s, if you saw in the Learn With Me series, check out the playlist. The 5s are about conflict. And in knowing that they're about conflict, we dive head first into it. And hopefully when we rip the Band-Aid off immediately, we come up and glean better solutions or better meaningful insight in the outcome, right? Water, earth, fire, and air, cups, pentacles, wands, and swords, respectively, all telling us what we feel about it, what we feel left out or excluded from, what energy is going on and swirling around us in this moment, and what is that inner monologue, how is that inner monologue going, what is it trying to tell us? So Pisces, as a preamble to the read, take what resonates, leave what doesn't, but don't always be so willing to reverse. At times it gets difficult. Understand that I, as your tarot card reader, I'm not here to misguide you or mislead you. Trust me, I got 12 signs, and none of the time for that. Instead, we lay our cards out on the table, and good or bad, come rain or sunshine, we'll talk about it. Because at the end of the day, tarot is a conversation, just an energetic one. Yeah. So follow along with me in your read today, Pisces, your ATC As Things Change read. And yeah, let's see what the cards say. We're going to start over here with your 5 of Cups, your home element of water. So those are the cards that we need to see, please, for Pisces in this read. Starting upon that 5 of Cups, what is it trying to tell us? What is that 5 of Cups trying to tell us? How do we feel about an ongoing situation? Okay. Only the good things. Okay, Page of Cups. Why are we trying to be ever the optimist? That's a twofold card, isn't it? The Moon, your home card, Pisces. Oh my gosh, I knew something was wrong. Hold on. Sorry, I've been going through the reads all day today. There we go. My apologies. No mean for disrespect, but I'm like, something visually is not adding up here. Now we're truly putting it first. Go back to the read. Pisces, what are we looking at? No disrespect to the Cancers, but this is Pisces time now, right? What are we realizing about the self, and also unearthing about the self, and having to really look at the bright side of an ongoing situation? 3 of Pentacles. This is, in fact, a workable dynamic. We should just be friends. Oh, Pisces. I mean, yeah, these things happen. And I don't think that you're trying to keep them on a string because maybe one day they'll change your mind or blah, blah, blah. No, there's just something about this dynamic that, again, we realize it does not fit for us. And because it does not fit, what are we left to do next? We're trying to accept it for what it is. And knowing that doesn't mean that we're, playing ourselves or, trying to disrespect our own boundaries about it. It's just a realization that something we may have wanted more from, no, we're definitely better as just friends and confidants, but part of me did wish for more. And it's juggling those dualities of emotions right now. Okay, that makes sense. Still 5 of Pentacles. Show the cards that we need to see, please, for Pisces in this reading. What upon the 5 of Pentacles are feeling left out or excluded once we understand? Where's the proof and where's the evidence? We see the Hierophant, the card of Taurus. Okay, knowing what your actual path is. 9 of Swords, we take intentional action towards it. 7 of Pentacles. not only accepting the dynamic, but even more so how we build from it. Yeah, I don't know what it is, Pisces. And it wasn't just the fact that you two broke up or went from, like, even if it was friends with benefits or whatever kind of situation it was for you, Pisces. That's neither here nor there. When we get to the material, actionable parts of what this dynamic was, um, and I think you don't want to say it out loud, but you felt like this person was dragging you back, like they're holding you back. And the reason I'm saying that is because the Hierophant is a devoted pathway, right? We're going to go by the book, we're going to listen to it, we're going to follow it. It has guidance and wisdom. We just have to trust the process. The Knight of Swords, okay, if we intend to follow through on that intentionality, that pilgrimage, that journey, then the Seven of Pentacles, we must accept all that it entails. And having all that profound, oath to the self, underneath the Five of Pentacles, part of us is realizing that me playing into, being their partner, their intimate confidant, or their intimate partner or their confidant or otherwise, we're still saying, no, I'm shutting out my options and my dreams just to go tit for tat with you right now. Is it fun? No, but you're coming to the harsh realization that life is kind of passing me by the more that I let this stagnate. Either we're elevating or we're not. And if we're not, then again, I don't hate you. And maybe that's why we drew the Page of Cups in the beginning. I'm looking at the good things. You're a great friend, but maybe not what I need from a life partner. Okay. Next to the Five of Wands, what about the current energetic conflict? What is it trying to teach us? Show the cards that we need to see, please, upon that Five of Wands in this read. And again, apologies for earlier. I didn't, again, been shuffling and doing a lot of reads. I didn't immediately notice that your power card was not at the forefront. My bad, Pisces. No disrespect to the fish. To that Five of Wands, what should we see? Strength, the card of Leo. Okay, we have to have the fortitude to cut the cord. Four of Swords, relax, recuperate, reanalyze. We understand how we got into this situation, and it's not animosity, at least from what I've seen across the board so far. It just is where it is. Is it the nicest conversation? Absolutely not. But is it the right conversation to do in the grand scheme of things? Probably, yeah. Six of Pentacles, the everyday investment. This is what we're looking at. What's proven is that you are a great roommate, a great friend, somebody who is definitely, great to take trips with. You always bring a smile to my face, you make me laugh. And even with all that put together, it might not be the right person for me. And when we add all that together, Pisces, yeah, I see why the energetic conflict is coming in, because it's everything but the love aspect. You're not making that connection with them. You're bonding with them in every other way, but the feeling that you should be garnering, or, if A plus B equals C, then why isn't it doing that? It's because part of you is accepting we're better off as friends. And that's not hateful. It just is what it is. Last, to the Five of Swords, what about internal monologue and what's going on within? Show us the cards that we need to see, please, upon that Five of Swords in this read for Pisces. As things change, what is going on? Ten of Wands. Okay, the burden that we carry, and now that we have this realization, what are we holding on to? The Two of Swords, how do we execute this properly? And the Nine of Cups. Because, again, and it's not one of those, phony, oh, I'm just doing this to save face, let's be friends kind of situation. Quite literally, you don't want this person out of your life, but they just don't fit into your paradigm in that way. And now we have to sit with the burden of, okay, we're trying the lover's path, and it just ain't working out for us. If so, then what? Who are we left to be now? And in that effort, Pisces, you're still trying to give your best to the dynamic, but giving your best here and sitting with that burden means that no, we are better off as friends. Underneath it all, Four of Cups. Apathy and disdain, that which grows over time. But here it's representative of, no, I'm coming to this realization that somebody who we were trying to tie to a more intimate partner value, Pisces, is literally better off as being our bestie or our go-to, just not our lover. Give us a card underneath each base 5 for Pisces in the Cereal, please. Show us cards we need to see, please. Upon this ATC, as things change, what must we realize? The world. Yeah. Definitively. One second, please. It's been really hot in here as of late. Definitively, the world, what I call the one above all, at least in the tarot card deck for me, because it's the most definitive card. It's a very much a yes or no situation, and the most close-ended of all of them, both minor and major arcana, right? The world here, we understand a cycle has come definitively to a close, right? We have reached all that we need to know about it, and now a choice must be made. If we are continuing on this path of this faux lovers relational dynamic, then we also have to accept we're doing that intentionally and with that purpose. And to close this out completely, it doesn't mean that we're trying to exude or, completely kick this person out of our lives, Pisces. We just got to say, we're both probably better off for different people. We are the best and most perfect friends, but lovers, this ain't it. Next, underneath the 5 of Pentacles, 5 of Cups. Okay, so going back, I think, tying it back all the here, Pisces, that 5 of Cups tells us that, yeah, the reason I feel this emotional void is because part of me understands and has to coldly accept that we have everything but that. Everything but the love. And no matter how many times we try to go for it or put forth our best effort towards it, it feels like we're just imitating it, and it shouldn't feel like that. Next, underneath the 5 of Wands, the Empress, right? Our best and higher selves is telling us to go for different. And that's not a bad thing. Again, there's no animosity towards this person, at least from what I'm seeing. It's just, here's where we are. And underneath the 5 of Swords, more 5 of Swords. Will we be brave enough to say the honest thing, or are we just going to go through the motions? In which case, we're not simply delaying it, we're completely imitating it. And that's not fair. At least from the realizations and the amount of profound insight you've been having already, Pisces. Underneath it all, 5 of Wands. Okay. And the satisfaction over time built up ultimately to a conflict that boiled to a head. Internally, this ain't right for us. If so, then what? Last, as we move towards resolution, define the major arcana strewn across the table for Pisces in the read. We start now with the moon. Nice, but didn't hit table, so I can't take. Shows the cards that we need to see, please. We start here with the moon, the card of Pisces. What are we still unearthing? That which is left to us in the unsaid and the unknown. Okay, 10 of Pentacles. Good. For the foundation of what I want to lay for myself and anybody I'm bonding with, we just don't bond in that way. I'm not feeling it. And I'm trying to be honest about it right now. To the Hierophant, the card of Taurus, 7 of Wands. The path that we feel most, geared towards is the one we're guarding ourselves from the most. We are not telling ourselves the truth, even though we've come to the realization of it, Pisces. So yeah, it's keeping us in that cycle. We have to be brave enough and have enough internal fortitude to say, this is not right for us. Who are we left to be then afterwards? Underneath Strength, the card of Leo. Ten of Wands. We have the ability to change this burden. Now, will we actively go through the measures to address it? To the World. Nine of Cups. Just because we're not your lover does not mean we're not offering friendship, amicability, and literally everything else under the sun. Two things can be true at once, Pisces. You want this person in your life, just not as your intimate partner. That is where it is. Does it sound the nicest thing to say? No. But is it your truth? Yes. To the Empress. The Emperor. And so, not simply the choice of the higher self, but these two are a matching pair. And what's interesting when you get that combination, as opposed to the King and Queen of Elements, King and Queen of Wands, King and Queen of Swords, King and Queen of Pentacles, King and Queen of Cups, the Emperor and the Empress are powerful enough to understand that they can have everything in the world, and would they like each other in each other's lives? Absolutely. But do they need each other? Absolutely not. Right? Those matching elemental pairs need to be bonded to each other. The Emperor and the Empress, they can accept, hey, this is just what life has to offer. And is it the funnest conversation? No, but I understand you're doing your best. You understand that I'm doing my best. And that is where we accept this is just where we are now. In resolution, Four of Swords. Relax, recuperate, regenerate, recalibrate. Three of Swords. Yeah, it's not going to feel good, or at least even for a while, at least the realization of everything's going on in this dynamic, Pisces. But it does get better if we're willing to do the hard thing. Underneath it all, Devil, card of Capricorn. Will we go through with it, or will we imitate a relationship? Here's what I see in your read today, Pisces. Let's do a quick recap. Somebody that you've been attempting to have a relationship with, there's all the green flags of good dynamics except for the feelings of love and intimacy. We tried for a relationship, but we're probably better off as lifelong best friends. My number one bestie, right? And in knowing that, it sounds kind of mean and dirty to, we jumped into this scenario when everything else is saying we're probably better off as this. But ultimately, what's best and right for you, Pisces. The thing is, are we brave enough to enact that? Right now, that's what you're hesitating with. However, the fact that you hesitate with it means, A, you come to truth about it, and more than coming to truth about it, afterwards, once we understand, we can't not know. So therefore, if we put those parts together, then further delaying, the recalibrating of this relational dynamic means that we're actively participating in an imitation relationship. I'm not trying to be cold-hearted or mean, but you know better. You have felt differently for a while now, and we shouldn't delay this. In fact, to get on better terms and truly express that I want you in my life, this must be said. Let's do the hard part, okay? That's why I got in your reading today, Pisces. I hope this conversation helped. And yeah, you don't want them out of your life. You just don't want them in your life in that way. And that's a conversation for you to figure out. I'll see you around, okay? Take care.